Going on, geeks? Max at the Beast here. Welcome to me talking about some things that you should do when you're playing competitive Overwatch. Um, the first thing relates to what you're seeing here from the loading screen, or from the hero select screen. Play what your team needs. Don't play something just because you want to. Play it because your team needs it, like Reaper here. He's a DPS. We're playing defensive. And we had no other DPS players. However, they felt like they needed a defense hero more. So I switched over to Widow. It's best to listen to your team in times of what they need than it is just to play whatever the heck you want to play and your team lose because they didn't have what they need. So playing defense, we could use some defense heroes, so I decided to play Widow, even though we had a Hanzo. Didn't realize that until it was too late. I was too far away from the point, or from the spawn point, to do anything. To change that, so I had to wait until I died. We either died, or just see how long we can hold out. Turns out it'll be me dying that would change it. So they want me to play a DPS, so I decided to switch over to Soldier, even though I'm terrible at Soldier. But when you play competitive, it's not about what you're good at or what you're bad at. You play the hero your team needs. A Soldier, not only is he a good DPS, but he also has the biotic field, which can be used for team play. You can help your team with that. So it's not all fun and games playing offense heroes on defense. You can still help defend a certain choke point, or in this case, the objective, by playing Soldier or some other hero that has support roles as well. My next little point is about team communication. Talking with your team is very important. If you don't do it, or if you don't at least try to, just a simple mic check would suffice. If no one responds, have a good day. You don't have to put up with it. You don't have to talk if you don't want to. But if they do talk back, it'd be best if you supply feedback and callouts. Callouts are a major part of any competitive game. Whether you're playing League of Legends, CSGO, Dota 2, or Overwatch, callouts are very important. You're going to want to inform your team about possible enemy positions if you see an enemy flanking. Definitely if you think they have ult. Or if you've watched in the kill cam that they do have ult. You're going to want to inform your team about that so they can be prepared to face whatever challenge comes their way. For instance, in the gameplay that you're seeing here, there will be, eventually when we're playing attack, you're going to run into a Hanzo that flanks us and uses his ult. Thanks to callouts by me and another teammate, only one person was killed because he forgot to move. Or rather, his controls messed up and he couldn't move. But giving callouts is a very important part about any competitive game, like I said. Like, you wouldn't go into an esport match and watch a bunch of people just not know what they're doing. They're calling out. Sure, you're not supposed to know exactly where your opponent is 24/7. But if you get a good viewpoint, if you get a good point on review on where they're going and what they're doing, you can give your team that intel and then communicate with your team to decide what you're going to do with that information. Whether are you going to attack and pursue that one person that may or may not still be there, or are you going to play more defensively and just wait for him to come to you? It's better to do something than just say, well, it's better to give callouts even if the callout is not obsolete, but more like if the callout has nothing to do with, it only has something to do with where you are. Like, let's say it's you and a Genji, like here, that we're a good distance away from where everybody else is. So it's just the point where the entire enemy team is somewhere else. You're still there playing. Well, you're still back in a previous location, fighting an enemy. That callout can help people try to predict where the person's going to go next. Also, when you're using your voice commands, your voice chat, just try to stay positive. Keep your team happy. Well, not happy, but it'd be nice if they were all happy. But stay upbeat. Be positive. The moment you start going negative, I found, the moment your team starts to lose. So you gotta stay on top of your emotions. If you're having a bad day in general and feeling just salty over anything and everything, don't play competitive. Play quick play or another game, because playing competitive, being negative, it's going to be a bit harder for you to win even if you have a good team. So you're going to want to stay positive, and if you feel super negative, don't play competitive, because sometimes your saltiness can rub off on your teammates. And and trust me, you do not want a lobby full of salty people. If you're honestly feeling negative about the way you're playing, if you're feeling negative in general, you're going to feel, or you're going to play worse too, since you're feeling bad about whatever. You're not going to be playing well, because you're going to be more focused on, I gotta do well and redeem myself, more than, I'm going to go in there, have fun, we're going to win, but I'm also going to help out the team and have fun. You just gotta keep your emotions in check when you're playing. I know it can be kind of difficult sometimes, especially if you keep dying over and over, but don't give up. Do not give up. Keep trying. Keep fighting for your team and for that W. Be sure that you keep communicating, though, because like I said, callouts, and also you can make some good friends over chat on Overwatch. I've made, in the last few days, 5 new friends by just voice chatting while playing the game. It feels cool to meet people over the internet, especially really awesome people, because there's a lot of really good ones out there. Sure, there's going to be your occasional salty one or your Call of Duty kid, but all in all, you're going to meet some cool people if you just talk. And another thing that is good to mention, you may, in your career of playing competitive, encounter people who, let's just say, are younger than the game's T for teen rating. People have been quick to judge these as squeakers. I'm just gonna say, guys, don't mistreat these people. They may be annoying, but do not make fun of them for their voice. We were all at that age, one point or another, where our voice is higher than everybody else's. I mean, if you were to join a Call of Duty lobby like that, people would be all cancerous towards you. Don't be cancerous towards people just because of somebody's voice. They can't help it. And just because someone's a so-called squeaker doesn't mean they can't play the game. It just means that they have a higher voice than everybody else. I've seen way too many times where somebody... Oh, here's the Hanzo part, by the way. See, we're calling it out right there. In the top, in the corner, you can see us talking. That is call-outs. Anyway, but I've seen too many times people being just plain mean to kids with high voices. And that's just wrong to me. I don't know if it's a sin or not, but it's definitely... I'd consider it. I'd consider it bullying, to be honest. Just being like, audibly in chat, so everybody, including the kid, could hear it. Oh, we got a squeaker again. Why do I always get squeakers? What a noob. He can't even talk. Right. His voice is all stupid. I've heard people say stuff like that. And that walks all over me because they are misjudging these kids because of their voices being high. I mean, I've met squeakers who were actually good at the game. I say squeakers because that's the term that everybody recognizes. But let me just say, I've heard kids who have high voices that people have called squeakers actually be really good at the game. Don't judge a book by its cover. Just because it has a person whose voice is a bit higher than everybody else's doesn't mean they're a bad player in general. My next little topic is be sure to concentrate. If you're not paying attention, most likely you're not going to be able to hit easy shots. And if you can't tell already, hitting shots in a first-person shooter is pretty important. I mean, you're not going to be able to take out your opponents by missing every single shot you fire. You're not going to be able to support your team as, let's say, Ana, if you can't aim. Spend some time practicing, also, your aim as well. But that's not the point. The point is, concentrate. Don't let your mind go to concentrating on something else. Go think about something else. Don't let your mind start thinking, oh my gosh, we're losing. I'm going to lose more SR, whatever. Let your mind think, okay. You have to think about think about your situations. But also think, okay, so knowing what I know here, using the information that I have, I'm going to do something about it. Concentrate on the actual game and less of yourself. Think more about the game in general, your team's positioning, your positioning, and less about your mental opinions about the way your team's playing, the way you think you should be playing. Yes, it's good to self-evaluate in the middle of the game and think, okay, I'm not playing this character right, I should switch. That's okay, that's fine, that's natural, that's good, that you're thinking, okay, I need to do this differently. And also, don't be afraid to give your team friendly advice saying, I wouldn't recommend you play this hero, we don't need another one of this, we don't need another support, we have plenty, we already have a Mercy and we already have a Lucio, we don't need anybody else to play support. Or, you're not, no offense, but you're not doing so well as Hanzo, please switch over to, let's say, a Junkrat, or maybe even a tank, like we could use a Reinhardt. Be not critique. Critique when necessary. Give constructive criticism. But concentrate on what's going on in the game and less of what you're thinking of right right at that moment. Don't think about if you don't like your teammate, or if you or think about a friend that just came online. Just think about the game the situation at hand, and think about what you need to do to help yourself and your team get to victory. My next point is knowing your hero and knowing your enemy's hero. You're not going to go into a game, well, you shouldn't go into a game, I should say, not knowing squat about any kind of hero, or about every hero in the game. By the time you reach competitive, you're level 25. You've had at least, depending on how many games you play, or how good you are, 5 or 10 hours of experience at this point. What you're gonna need to do is by this point you should know every hero in the game. Not necessarily say you're maining every hero in the game, or you play every hero in the game constantly. Just what you need to do and know is basically the abilities of every hero, the passive, including passives, like Reapers, healing orbs, Mercy's auto heal, Hanzo and Genji's climb, and abilities like that, so you'll know how to counter it, how to counter that hero. Also knowing your opponent's amount of health, and what they could do at the last moment to change your game. Like, if you're going against a Reinhardt, you're going to have to prepare for a possibility of a charge. Or if you're playing Sniper and trying to pick off a Reinhardt, you're going to need to also be prepared for a fire strike. Or if you're trying to fight against McCree, you're going to need to know about the flashbang, or know how to counter the flashbang. And even then, know how to defend yourself against the wombo combo that is the barrel roll, or the combat roll, and the fan the hammer. Or if you're going to be trying to go 1v1 against an Ana, you're going to need, like I am here, you're going to need to know, or you're going to need to expect biotic grenades. You're going to want to face that, knowing what you know, to counter that hero, to give yourself the advantage. Never engage an enemy if you don't know what they're going to do, or if the odds are stacked incredibly against you. If you're playing in a situation where your opponent's odds are stacked incredibly high, and chances are you're going to lose, don't take that risk. Let yourself just say no to the bad situation and move on. Because you really are not going to be liking a situation where, let's say, you're facing a Junkrat with a Pocket Mercy who also has a Roadhog backing him up. Who also has a Roadhog or Orisa backing him up. You're not going to want that. Instead, or if you want to try to tackle that, take a couple teammates with you that are good counters against those heroes. Like if they have an Orisa, have a Genji or somebody go with you so they can deflect and pester the enemy while you do most of the damage and take the opponent out. Know your heroes too. If your team asks you to play Soldier 76 like they asked me, know how to play him. If your team asks you, we need a healer, could you be Zenyatta? You're gonna want to know how to play Zen so you can support your teammates. Knowing your hero and their abilities is a very important aspect of playing any class-based shooter, whether that's TF2, Dirty Bomb, or Overwatch, which is by far the better ones. Lol. You're going to want to pay attention. You're going to want to play well. But the way you play well is not by getting the most kills, not by getting gold eliminations. It's by helping your team. It's by playing the objective. That's why it's called an objective-based shooter. You're going to want to help your team. Also, not saying that it's the only way you get good at a game, but owning a nice PC is going to help your odds, because playing the game at 20 frames per second isn't the best. You're going to be slower than everybody else, and your aiming will definitely be off. But if you're playing on PC, like me, running 70 frames at a constant level, playing Overwatch, your aim's going to be much better because the game is moving much more fluidly. But I hope these tips have helped you and improve your Overwatch skills. I might make a part 2 to this in the future. If we can get this to 15 likes, I will. Thanks, guys, so much for everything that you've done for my channel. It means so much to me. Thanks again, guys. If you're new, please be sure to subscribe for more content, Overwatch related, Subnautica related, and other games. Be sure to do that. It means so much to me, guys. If you want to subscribe, like I said, subscribe for more, and 15 likes, and I'll make a part 2 to this. Thanks, guys, and as always, Max the Beast is out.